Have you ever wondered how one person can challenge everything we think we know about success, beauty, and fame? Milana Vayntrub is that person. She's someone you might recognize instantly but know almost nothing about. And yet, she's managed to captivate millions, not just with her stunning photos but with her bold personality and fearless actions. You've probably seen her as Lily Adams in those AT&T commercials, flashing her warm smile and winning hearts effortlessly. But behind that charm is a story so unexpected, so inspiring that it completely changes the way you see her. What if I told you that Milana isn't just an actress but a disruptor, someone redefining what it means to be in the spotlight? By the end of this video, you'll not only understand why she's a force to be reckoned with, but you'll also have a new perspective on the word indecent itself. Because when it comes to Milana, it's not about controversy or scandal, it's about breaking the rules in all the right ways. And here's the deal, stick around until the end and I'll share a surprising twist about Milana that might just leave you rethinking everything you thought you knew about fame. Let's uncover what makes her stand out, starting from the very beginning. Milana Vayntrub's journey to fame wasn't your typical Hollywood story. She didn't start as a household name or a celebrity with a massive following. Instead, she became a familiar face through a surprising platform commercials. Specifically, she rose to prominence as Lily Adams, the friendly and approachable spokesperson for AT&T. If you've seen those ads, you probably remember her instantly. It wasn't just her delivery or the clever scripts, it was her natural charisma. Milana had this way of making viewers feel like they were chatting with a friend. That relatability made her stand out in a sea of polished, overly scripted advertisements. She didn't need over-the-top glamour or flashy effects. Her personality did all the work. But here's what most people don't realize. While the world was falling in love with Lily, Milana was so much more than the character she played. Behind the scenes, she was working on her craft as an actress and comedian. She wasn't content with being just a commercial star. She had ambitions far bigger than that, and she wasn't afraid to chase them. And here's where things get interesting. Milana didn't let fame change her. Even as she became one of the most recognizable faces on TV, she remained grounded. She used the attention not just to build her career, but to make a real impact. That's where the story shifts. Milana wasn't just an actress, she was becoming a voice for change. But why did Milana's story take such an unexpected turn? Why didn't she stay in her safe lane as a beloved TV ad star? Stick around, because in the next section, we'll uncover how she shattered expectations and redefined what it means to be in the public eye. What she did next might surprise you, and it's a big reason why she's considered indecent in the best way possible. When people hear the word indecent, their minds might jump to controversy or scandal. But for Milana Vayntrub, it's a badge of honor, and not for the reasons you'd think. You see, Milana has never been one to follow the rules set by society, especially the ones telling women how they should act, look, or behave in the public eye. For years, women in the spotlight have been expected to stay quiet, play nice, and fit neatly into a box labeled acceptable. But Milana? She tore that box apart. She refused to be just a pretty face or the friendly girl next door. She didn't ask for permission to speak her mind, she just did it. And that's what sets her apart. Milana's boldness started showing in the way she approached her fame. Instead of sticking to the script literally and figuratively, she used her platform to address real issues. She spoke out about sexism, body image, and the unrealistic expectations placed on women in Hollywood. Most people in her position might stay silent, afraid to rock the boat. Not Milana. She leaned into the uncomfortable conversations, showing a level of courage that's rare in an industry built on appearances. But her defiance didn't stop there. Milana didn't just challenge societal norms, she shattered them. Whether it was embracing her imperfections or standing tall against criticism, she made it clear that she wasn't here to fit anyone else's mold. To some, that kind of authenticity might seem indecent. But to others, it's a breath of fresh air. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. Milana's actions weren't just for show. She didn't just talk the talk, she walked the walk. But why would someone who had it all, a career, fame, admiration, risk it by being so outspoken? The answer lies in what she truly believes in. And when you hear how far she's gone to stand up for her values, you'll understand why her boldness isn't just admirable, it's transformative. In the next section, we'll explore how Milana turned her voice into action, stepping into the role of an activist and proving that real change starts with courage. What she's done might just leave you speechless. When most celebrities talk about causes, it often feels like empty words meant to boost their image. Milana Vayntrub. She's the complete opposite. Activism isn't just a side note in her career, it's a core part of who she is. One of Milana's most passionate efforts has been advocating for refugees, And this isn't some distant issue for her, it's deeply personal. Born in Uzbekistan, Milana and her family fled their home when she was just a child, seeking safety and a better life in the United States. That experience shaped her view of the world and gave her an unshakable sense of empathy for those facing similar struggles. But Milana didn't stop at raising awareness. She took action. She co-founded the Can't Do Nothing campaign, a movement aimed at helping refugees worldwide. Through this, she raised funds, organized resources, and amplified voices that are too often silenced. While many in her position might shy away from such challenging topics, Milana stepped up. She made it her mission to turn her platform into a tool for change. Here's what's even more remarkable: her activism wasn't without personal cost. Speaking up about issues as polarizing as the refugee crisis brought her criticism and hate from some corners of the internet. But Milana never let the negativity silence her. Instead, she used it as fuel to keep going. And it's not just about refugees. Milana has been vocal about mental health, equality, and social justice. Whether it's in interviews, on social media, or through her work, she consistently uses her voice to stand up for what she believes in. But what does all this have to do with the word indecent? Here's the thing. In a world that often tells women to sit still and look pretty, Milana has chosen to take a stand. That refusal to stay silent to fight for causes bigger than herself is what makes her indecent in the best way possible. Next, we'll dig into another aspect of her boldness: how Milana has redefined body positivity and turned vulnerability into a source of power. If you've ever felt pressured to be perfect, her story will resonate with you in ways you never expected. In a world obsessed with perfection, Milana Vayntrub's honesty about her own body image struggles has been nothing short of revolutionary. She's faced intense scrutiny throughout her career, especially as someone in the public eye. But instead of hiding from it, Milana did something remarkable: she embraced the conversation. Milana has openly shared her experiences dealing with body shaming and unrealistic beauty standards, particularly in an industry where women are constantly judged for their appearance. But what's different about Milana is how she flipped the narrative. She didn't just defend herself, she used her platform to challenge the toxic standards that harm millions of people every day. Her approach to body positivity isn't about ignoring insecurities, it's about confronting them head-on. She's been candid about her own journey, showing that even someone as admired as her isn't immune to self-doubt. But instead of letting those doubts define her, she's turned them into a powerful message: that your worth isn't measured by how you look. Milana has also pushed back against the way women are objectified, both in Hollywood and online. She's spoken about the dehumanizing comments and harassment she's endured, particularly in social media spaces. Her response: to call it out publicly, reminding people that women are more than their appearances. But it's not all heavy topics. Milana's humor shines through even in these conversations, making her message all the more relatable. She uses her wit to connect with people, proving that body positivity doesn't have to be serious all the time, it can also be empowering and fun. What makes this so impactful is that Milana's confidence isn't just for show, she lives it. By refusing to conform to outdated standards, she's given others permission to do the same. And that's where her true power lies, not just in her words, but in the way she leads by example. In the next section, we'll look at how Milana's experiences in Hollywood have shaped her into an outspoken advocate for change, pulling back the curtain on an industry that rarely lets women tell their own stories. Her honesty about what she's faced might shock you and inspire you at the same time. Hollywood is often glamorized as a world of glitz and success, but for Milana Vayntrub, it's also been a battleground. Behind the cameras and bright lights lies an industry rife with double standards, especially for women, and Milana hasn't shied away from addressing them head-on. She's been vocal about the sexism and unrealistic expectations women face in entertainment. From being judged more harshly on appearance to the constant pressure to maintain a flawless public image, Milana has experienced it all. But instead of staying silent, she's used her voice to challenge these outdated norms. One of the most striking examples of this came when she opened up about the objectification she's faced as the face of AT&T. While her commercials made her a beloved figure, they also brought unwanted attention in the form of inappropriate comments and harassment online. Most celebrities might have ignored this behavior, but not Milana. She called it out publicly, shining a light on the toxic behavior that so many women endure but rarely speak about. What's even more inspiring is how she turned these challenges into opportunities to advocate for change. Milana's transparency has inspired others in the industry to speak up as well, creating a ripple effect that's slowly pushing Hollywood to be more accountable. But her honesty doesn't stop at calling out unfair treatment. Milana has also shared her experiences with self-doubt and imposter syndrome, showing that even the most confident and accomplished people struggle sometimes. It's this level of vulnerability that makes her so relatable and real. Milana isn't afraid to demand better not just for herself, but for every woman who comes after her. Her willingness to speak out, even when it comes at a personal cost, shows a bravery that's rare in a world so focused on image. In the final section, we'll tie it all together by looking at how Milana's boldness, activism, and refusal to conform have made her a true trailblazer. And, as promised, I'll reveal a surprising twist about her that perfectly sums up why she's one of the most remarkable women in the spotlight today. After everything you've heard, it's clear Milana Vayntrub is far from ordinary. She's a fearless advocate, a trailblazer in body positivity, and someone who has transformed her fame into a tool for change. But there's one more thing about her that makes her story unforgettable. Milana's journey isn't just about breaking societal norms, it's about rewriting the rules entirely. While many celebrities focus on maintaining their image, Milana focuses on something much bigger: being authentic. She doesn't try to please everyone, and that's precisely what makes her so magnetic. She's unapologetic in her beliefs and actions, even when they come at a cost. Her willingness to tackle tough topics from sexism in Hollywood to the refugee crisis proves that she's not afraid to use her voice, no matter the backlash. This courage has earned her the admiration of people from all walks of life, not just as a celebrity, but as someone who represents what it means to live boldly. And here's the twist: the very traits that some might call indecent are the ones that make her an icon. Her refusal to conform, her insistence on speaking her mind, and her determination to stand up for what's right are the reasons she's a role model to so many. So why should you care about Milana Vayntrub? Because her story is a reminder that being true to yourself and standing up for what you believe in is the most powerful way to leave a lasting impact. If this video has made you think differently about Milana, or even inspired you in some way, here's a challenge: share her story. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that it's okay to be indecent if it means staying true to who you are. And while you're at it, take a moment to reflect on your own life. What's one way you can be bold, unapologetic, and true to yourself today? Milana's journey doesn't just belong to her, it's a lesson for all of us. And if you've made it to the end of this video, consider yourself part of that change. Let's keep this conversation going, one story, one bold action at a time.